Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, everyone. So listen, guys, there is a lot of new information come out in the last 24, 48 hours with regards to the grooming gangs that's been happening all over the United Kingdom. And look, before we get onto this, I just want to say, I think that when all the information comes out about these grooming gangs, about how bad the situation actually is, I think that it's going to be, it's like, people are going to understand that there is no such thing as a multicultural dream. People are going to understand that it's gone, it's done, it's over, it's finished. It was a project and it's absolutely failed. People are going to understand the depths that girls in this country have suffered. People are going to understand that this was predominantly done in certain regions in the United Kingdom. And I think I think we're sat on something at the moment, guys, and it's about to pop. And I mean London. So let's just recap. There was that woman, I think her name was Suzanne Hall, and we've all seen the videos of this woman, Suzanne Hall. She's calling Sadiq Khan out. She's saying, listen, Sadiq, is there any grooming gangs operating in London? And he's like, no, we've got no, well, you guys can watch the interview. I don't think he actually says no. What I think he says is he doesn't answer the question. What he does is he asks what they actually mean by grooming gangs. So lots of information out now, guys. And look, I need to caveat this. I'm giving you guys information that I'm getting from the mainstream media. I'm going to try not to pass judgment and just give you what other people are talking about and let you guys pass judgment yourself. So let's just consider, and let's just go back, actually, guys, because I do want to keep driving this home to people. Let's just consider that there's a mayor of a big country, of a big city, hypothetically. And I do want a national conversation on this, guys. I really want people to start sharing this. If there is a mayor, if there was, for example, hypothetically now, a mayor of a big city, this is a hypothetical scenario, guys. I don't know if you guys think it's real or not. Mayor of a big city gets done for covering up a very bad crime. The information's all out there. Nobody can deny it, but he doesn't resign. And then at the next election, he gets in again. How do you remove that person? Or do you just accept that in that city, that crime is no longer a crime? It's okay. Like, where do you go with this? And this ultimately comes back to, if you live in the United Kingdom, in fact, let me put a chat on there, guys, just a second. And if you live in the United Kingdom, it basically comes back to what I've been saying for since I started this channel. We have no legal framework in the United Kingdom. We have no legal framework in the United Kingdom to oppose a tyrannical government, and that is it. There is nothing. I welcome anyone who wants to challenge me on that, guys. I really do. I had somebody on the chat yesterday. Calling me a retard. He's like, "You're a retard." I'm like, okay, right, whatever. But listen, guys, that's what we're going to be talking about this morning. The news. I'm going to share with you guys a video in a second. There's a guy, he's an ex-police officer, and he did an investigation, and it took him 3 days to find 50, I think it was 52 girls, actually, not 50 girls, that are being used by gangs as prostitutes. Took him 3 days to find 50 girls. And from the other day, when Suzanne Hall was asking Sadiq Khan if there are any grooming gangs operating in London, Sadiq Khan refused to answer the question. He was more interested in the definition of a grooming gang. Oh, I've had a violation, guys. I've had a violation. Guys, I've had a violation on TikTok. I've had a violation for hate speech on TikTok. I don't know what I said. Hate speech on TikTok. Listen, guys, I've had a violation on TikTok. I don't know what I said that was hate speech. What did I say then that was hate speech? I'm literally going from mainstream media. I'm literally going from UK mainstream media. Right, okay, guys, listen. I am going to cut this short on TikTok because it really does my head in. So for those of you guys who've not followed me on YouTube, guys, I'm Real Raven 1 on YouTube. I'm the Real Raven 1 on X. I'm Real Raven 1 on TikTok. I am triple streaming at the moment, guys. So I'm streaming on YouTube. I'm streaming on TikTok. And I'm streaming on X. If the feed goes off on TikTok, guys, jump over to YouTube and I'll continue the live stream on YouTube. But I've literally just had a violation for your live is flagged for hate speech and hateful behaviours. I don't know what I've said other than what's released in the mainstream media. But look, guys, we'll just go with it. So let me give you guys the first video that we've got here. So this is from, and again, I might get, listen, guys, I might get my live stream cut for this. I'm just going to play you guys a video. You guys on TikTok will get the audio. I think, in fact, you'll all get the audio. Because I'm triple streaming, I can't show on all platforms at the same time. So let's just listen to the video. This is a guy called John Wedger, who's a former Met Police detective, and he's a whistleblower. Now, he's talking about, I'm just going to call them the gangs. Well, I'm on TikTok. I'm just going to talk about the gangs. We'll play this video, guys, and like some of the stuff's absolutely breathtaking.
After 3 days, I found 52 kids.
Did you hear that, guys? His first sentence. After 3 days, I found 52 kids.
There's one kid's home here.
3 days.
Yep.
It took you 3 days to find 52 children being pimped out on the streets of London.
Yep. There's one here, right? I rang up the manager of the kids' home. His name was Andre.
Right.
And I said, how many children you got, Andre? He said 5. I said, how many of them do you lose to criminality? And I explained, I'm interested in the prostitution. And he boldly told me, we lose 5 out of 6 every week. And it's here in my original notes. I then decided to hold a meeting. So this is circa 2008. And here is the top of it. It's got report the children at risk of criminal exploitation subject to care orders residing within the borough of Haringey.
So when all this information comes out, guys, it's like, just be ready for when it comes out. You know, can you just contextualize this, guys? Can you imagine? I've got to be careful with my words because I've already got, I think I've got 2 violations already. I think I've got 2 violations already on TikTok, guys. Yeah, I think I've already got 2 violations on TikTok. So can you imagine now, ladies and gentlemen? Let's just say, for example, just switch these roles. Let's just say there was different gangs targeting different girls. Can you imagine? Like Keir Starmer would be on his knee and it'd be wild, guys. It'd be wild. And this all comes back to people in the United Kingdom are very well behaved. You know, they're very law abiding. And we need that legal framework to protect ourselves. So I've just played you guys a little video then. This ex-Met police officer, he identified this back in, he identified this back in, what year was it, 2008? That 5 out of 6 children are lost to these, let's just say criminal gangs. Am I going to get flagged for saying criminal gangs? Am I going to get, guys, listen, for the purpose of this live stream, when I say criminal gangs, you guys know what I mean, right? Okay, I don't think TikTok can get me done for hate speech if I say I don't like criminal. Can I get done for saying I don't like criminal gangs? Can I get done for that, guys? I don't know. So that's this guy, okay? So he's out there. These whistles have been blown 2008, like he's saying, and it seems to me maybe these gangs have been covered up. What do you think, guys? You know, and don't forget, this comes now after Sadiq Khan said, well, he refused to answer the question, actually. But it also comes as the Met Police now in London are saying they're actively investigating 9,000 cases. Listen, guys, and I'll keep saying this. When this lid gets blown off, and it will get blown off, when this lid gets blown off, all these liberals, all these people who've got their head buried in the sand, all these people who are in absolute denial, get ready for a culture shock, guys. Get ready for a culture shock. I'm telling you, the first casualties, are going to be the liberals, guys. You know these liberals who are dancing around, singing their little songs and banging their drums. They're going to be the first casualties. They are going to be the first casualties, guys. Let's not forget that in Iran, 1988, after the Islamist takeover, they rounded up all the opponents, and there were mass executions in Iran, guys, in 1988. That's the reality. High estimates were 30,000 opposition were executed in Iran. 1988. It was hidden for a long time. It was hidden for a long time. But that's the reality, guys. Okay, that's what ultimately people are trying to get in the United Kingdom. That's what people want in the United Kingdom, because these useful idiots, banging the drums and dancing around with their piercings and their, and their blue hair. Look, guys, it's just going to be a massive culture shock. That's what's coming, and I don't think there's any way out of it now. There isn't. You know what? I'm not even going to There's no way to stop this now. What's coming is coming. The only thing that you can do is decide how you're going to prepare yourself. Right, guys, I'm going to get some of the chat, and then I will continue. We've got a few bits to get through today, guys. Okay. Smudge is saying TikTok apparently different races, not just one, so not flipping hate crime. I don't know what that means. Smudge is saying now we know now we know exactly what they're guilty of. Oh, but we have to protect. Yeah, I can't say it, guys. There's some of you guys are putting work. Right, guys, listen. If you're on the chat in TikTok, like, I will get done if you guys are putting bad things in the chat in TikTok. So please keep it, like, I know people are angry and you've got an absolute right to be, but don't get me done. All right, put nice words in the TikTok in the chat, but try and just use veiled speech if you can. And I want to hear, like, from I genuinely want to hear from people who've changed their minds about this. I give you guys the anecdote of my friends. Where are they? You know what I need to get? I should wear them, actually. I was at a barbecue basically last summer at my friend's house, and he had a friend there, and he was calling me gammon. He was calling me Brexit boy. He was saying, "Sean, What is it the migrants are stopping you doing? What is it and he was laughing, and you know the tropes. I didn't realize gammon was such a bad insult. It's quite bad. So he was calling me gammon, asking me what I had for, if I like gammon, and I was like, yeah, I do actually, with an egg on top of it. We do it on the barbecue, actually. We get like a nice thick gammon. Well, we don't get the gammon. We get the, when you get like a joint of, like a ham joint or something, like a pork, not pork, what is it? Gammon, yeah, like a gammon joint, and slice it. So you get steaks, do it on the barbecue, then maybe like throw an egg on top of it or something. Sorry, guys, I'm going on a side quest. So I was at this barbecue like it was last summer. It may have even been the summer before. I think it was last summer, actually. Anyway, we're playing poker. Obviously, I'm quite a dab hand at poker, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm not encouraging anyone to gamble. So we're playing poker, and I had his cards. I got the cards. Anyway, I won his sunglasses off him. That's not relevant. I just thought I'd put that in there. And but he was really, because it was last year, because it was when the Rotherham and he was like kind of having a go at me, but in a very British way. Anyway, I saw him like a couple of months ago. It may have been like, I can't remember when. He used to work as a security guard at like at one of these shopping outlet centers. They have like their own security. And it turns out that the company that he worked for had been sacked, or he'd been sacked. I can't remember which one. They got rid of everybody, and they brought in new people. And the new people they brought in, English wasn't their first language. And now he has just flipped on his head. He is like, he's saying some vile things. And I'm saying, mate, you can't say that. But what he came to the very quick realization was, this is happening. It's a lot bigger than he can imagine, and it's gonna affect him. Now, he's looking at Christmas this year. I don't know if he's got another job. He's looking at Christmas this year. He's got his mortgage payments, I assume, or his rent payments, because he was living somewhere. He's got his car probably on finance. He's got 2 kids, wife or a girlfriend. I don't know if they're married or not, So you can see where this, leads, right? You can see where this leads. More jobs lost in the United Kingdom. We've got, I think in Scotland, there was was it an oil refinery or something, or a gas or oil company went, it's gone into administration in Scotland. That's another 2,000 jobs. And it's not just 2,000 people unemployed. It's 2,000 people unemployed searching now for 2,000 less jobs. Does that make sense, guys? You know, how we've got more people now searching for less jobs. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you're joining for the first time, we are talking about the gangs, just gangs, guys, you know, criminal gangs now. I've got to be very careful what I say. I've got to be very careful what I say while I'm on TikTok, guys, because I've already had a restriction, but equally, I don't care if it blocks me on TikTok. It's a bit of a swizzler. So we're talking about criminal gangs in London now, guys. 50 girls found by this Met police officer. He found 50 girls within 3 days. He's a whistleblower. Also, it turns out that the Met police are actively investigating 9,000 cases. 9,000 cases. Can you imagine, guys? Can you imagine 9,000 cases? I promise you, I'm not promising anything. I'm speculating that when the depth and breadth of this in London is uncovered, guys, I promise you, this is going to restructure the fabric of our society. Be under no illusion, guys. This is going to restructure the fabric of our society. It is absolutely insane. What else have I got for you guys? Susan Hall. So I've got a little video from Susan Hall, guys. We love Susan Hall. Let's all have a little bit of appreciation for Susan Hall, guys. She is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to play a little video here, guys, from Susan Hall. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Susan Hall is the lady who was questioning Sadiq Khan.
Firstly, I'd like to thank so many of you who've been kind enough to watch the videos of me questioning the mayor and the deputy mayor about rape gangs in London. You all saw that the mayor says, I don't know what she's talking about. What does she mean? Well, all of you knew what I meant, and I suspect he did. But trying to get information out of him and the Metropolitan Police, and definitely the deputy mayor, has been so difficult. But we now see that the Met are investigating 9,000 cases of grooming gangs.
So do you understand? Do you see now, guys, how easy it is to close something down without actually closing it down? Do you see how easy it is? So Sadiq Khan, you know, do you have criminal gangs? And I can't say the words, guys, because I get done for saying speech on TikTok. Do you have criminal gangs operating in London? What do you mean? What does the lady mean by criminal gangs? What kind of crime? What criminal gangs? And remember, you know, these things are on a timer. And I know this, you know, I know this myself, because you go into these meetings and when people are like, well, you know, can you just explain that a little bit more for me? And they, you know, they slow down and they talk slowly and you don't get an answer. And you're like, well, I've not got an answer. I just asked you a question. You're supposed to answer me. I didn't get an answer. And then the response is, well, I didn't understand the question. It's a very, you know, it's actually a tactic you get taught in the military. It's resistance to interrogation. One of the things you get taught in the military when you're being interrogated, first of all, they say don't lie. That's 100%. Like, don't lie, because you will get caught out eventually when you lie. So what they do in the military, it's called resistance to interrogation. You go on like courses and stuff, and resistance to interrogation courses. And one of the aspects is you don't lie, but be slow. You don't have to lie, just be slow. You know, slow things down. Right. Do you know of any criminal gangs operating in London? Sorry, can you just say that again? Do you know of any criminal gangs operating in London? I mean, London's a, you know, this would be my response. Well, whereabouts in London? I mean, London's a big area. Like, where are you talking specifically? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Criminal gangs operating in London. Well, you need to be specific about the question. What do you mean by criminal? What do you mean crime? You know, remember what we're talking, the crime code word is, you know, and it slows things down. And then the interrogator's like, right, I've not got any information about him, move him on, pass that person on. It is a tactic, guys. It's a resistance to interrogation tactic. So this lady, Suzanne Hall, we love Suzanne Hall, guys. We all need to give a big thumbs up for Suzanne Hall. She's saying Sadiq Khan wouldn't answer her questions on the criminal gangs. And now it turns out that the Met Police are looking into 9,000 cases. So did Sadiq Khan know about this, or did he not know about this?
Rape gangs, as I call them, 9,000. So from going in January, when I first started all these questions, when he said he didn't know what I mean, we're now seeing that they're admitting to at least 9,000 cases.
I think, ladies and gentlemen, 9,000 is the tip of the iceberg, guys. I do. Honestly, I think when this comes out, it is going to blow everybody's mind. It's going to blow everybody's mind. It is. You know, that's why I'm speculating, guys.
Surprised because so many very brave victims or survivors have actually contacted me, telling me their terrible stories. So at least it's out there, and now they admit to it. But why did it take so long? Sadiq Khan is the Police and Crime Commissioner. He's the Mayor of London. What a damn disgrace he is. He is not worthy of that position.
So there we have it, guys. That's Suzanne Hall. That she's weighing in on what she thinks. So you guys heard that. That's not my opinion. That's her opinion. Look, guys, I think Suzanne Hall needs to lead this inquiry. I think she does. Like, I can't think of anyone better. You know, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. Maybe there's somebody we don't know. I think she would be fair. I think she would get to the bottom of this. And what I think she would uncover would put her life in danger. So what else have we got, guys? So we've got this woman here coming out. What's her name? Maggie Oliver. Maggie Oliver, the whistleblower from Rochdale. She's saying, well, we'll play that video in a second, guys, but just quickly on the YouTube chat, Templar Matt is saying, we need Black Belt Barrister on the live with Sean. Look, guys, I promise, look, guys, I'm going to drive this home, and I'm going to be... what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Not offensive. Robustly. I'm going to be robustly trying to drive this message. Now, we've only got a little small community here, guys. We need to expand that community. But we've got a great community. We need to expand that message, guys. And I've been saying it for so long. We need that legal framework where people of the United Kingdom can defend themselves against the tyrannical government. Now, I am not saying that we have a tyrannical government. Let me be clear. I'm not saying we have. What I'm saying is the first step, and it's a long path, guys. It's a long path we need to walk down. The first step is to have a conversation, and this is what we need to get the conversation is. And you guys know where you heard it first. Ultimately, the conversation needs to be this. It needs to be a national conversation. What protection do we have to protect ourselves against a tyrannical government? And the answer will be none. And then the next question is, oh, well, can we have some protection against the tyrannical government? And when you put that question to the government, it's going to be very difficult for them to say no. You see where I'm going with that? So first of all, we need to open the conversation and people need to be talking about it. Then we need to say, right, okay, well, can we have some protection, please? I'm not saying you're a tyrant, but maybe if reform get in, they're going to be tyrants. So we need protection from a tyrannical government. And if they say no, then they are a tyrannical government and we definitely need the protection. So that's where we need to go, guys. And everybody, all you guys that are on right now, we all need to start sharing this message, okay? Share this message, guys, okay? We need protection. We need legal... Yeah, Lewis Smith is saying basically a constitution. Yeah, we need a constitution and we don't have one. And I get it. People are saying, oh, we have, you know, we have the British Constitution. Guys, I promise you, we don't. We had some guy on yesterday who was called like I can't remember, something disclosure. I can't remember what it was. And he was quoting laws, like ancient laws. That's all well and good if those ancient laws will stand in court today. Like, for example, you know, there's still a law, an ancient law that in, I think in Chester, this is the law. I think in Chester, something like in Chester City, After midnight, you're allowed to shoot a Welshman with a crossbow. I think that's still that's like an ancient law, you know. Yeah, go. I tell you what, guys, go and do that. See what happens to you. Go and do that and quote that. Yeah, but it's legal under the. Yeah, good luck with that, mate. Good luck with that. Yeah, that's not going to fly. But if we get that law, if we start having a conversation about that law, and people say, "Oh yes, actually, it is fair. Yeah, we've talked about it in Parliament, and yeah, we respect that law," then that law becomes fair game. Nothing happens without a conversation, guys. Nothing happens without a conversation. Nothing happens without legal backing. Absolutely nothing, you know. Oh, April Lee is in America. April Lee is in America. Having a break with her sister, and I feel that I need to stay here. April Lee, right? A little question for you, April. Can you do me a favor, right? It's up to you, you know. When you're out and about in America, speak to someone in America and ask them if they get taught about their constitution at school. And they do. They get taught about their constitution at school. Now, the reason they get taught about their constitution at school is so that it cannot be misinterpreted. So if everybody understands the interpretation of, you know, whatever law that is, there's no legal team coming up saying, "Oh, well, actually, we interpret this law differently, and this is actually the law." You can't do that if everybody understands the interpretations, and if those interpretations are taught at the very basic level. Belfast and Beyond is saying, "Sean, you make me laugh." Because we shoot, guys, let's not shoot any Welshmen with bows. Oh, here he is again. Right. Okay. Documenting in declines here again, guys. So just real quick, documenting in decline. Okay. He called me a retard yesterday for not understanding that we have, you know, he says we have a law to protect ourselves. Look, documenting decline. Okay. If you want to come, if you want to inbox me, I'll let you come on and we can have a discussion about this face to face. I'm more than happy with that. Right. Okay. So what he's saying is he's talking about these ancient laws. Right. Okay. Documenting decline. Okay. So. Yeah, I've been restricted. I've been suspended. Yeah, I've been suspended, guys. I've been kicked off TikTok. I'm gone. Yeah, so thanks to you, documenting decline, you've just got me kicked off TikTok. Anyway, so documenting decline. I think documenting decline is one of these people who looks at these ancient laws. Okay, so documenting decline, real quick, let me just say to this to you, okay? In the UK, it's still legal. There's still an ancient law that you can shoot a Welshman with a crossbow, I think it is, inside Chester. Okay? Are you saying that I can go? Are you saying that I can go and shoot? Are you saying that if I go and find a Welshman, I can walk around Chester after midnight with a crossbow and shoot Welshmen and I won't get sent to prison? Is that what you're really saying, mate? Okay? Right, and so documenting decline, please inbox me. April is saying, what happened on TikTok? This guy here, documenting decline, he got me kicked off because I said something that TikTok thought was hate speech. But listen, guys, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm rolling it. Templar Matt is saying we are allowed to self-protect. We can legally. Yes. A preventative strike to protect ourselves and others. Yes, I agree. That's a big door to use. Government have scared us into being not brave enough to use it. No. What? So I'm talking about something totally different now. So that is self-defense. That is immediate self-defense. What I'm talking about is to oppose a government. actually oppose a government. Like, I don't know. You guys were on the live stream. We said we would have a breakaway state, the first republic of we would take Cleethorpes and Grimsby and have it the first republic, the Democratic Republic of Raven. So what I'm talking about isn't self-defense. It would be what the people have to oppose a tyrannical government. And like that wouldn't work. Or do you know what? Maybe it would. I don't know. But that conversation needs to be opened up so that interpretation is clear to everyone. Laurie Hill is saying, I've just seen they've cancelled Remembrance Sunday. Give over, Laurie. That can't be right. I'm not having that, Laurie. I'm not having that. I do not have that. Right. Remembrance Sunday banned. What? No way. Remembrance Sunday, held every year since World War I, is cancelled. Hang on, I've got to read, guys. I've got to read this. Hang on. A Remembrance Sunday parade held every year since the end of the First World War has been cancelled over health and safety issues. Yeah, I bet it's the safety, more of the health, less the health. Veterans have reacted with dismay at the decision to call off the Upton. Okay, so it's not all the. Okay, so it's Upton Remembrance Day. Where is Upton? It's in Liverpool, isn't it? Upton Remembrance Sunday parade on the Wirral, with events scaled back to a simple wreath laying. Merseyside police have previously provided traffic management for the gathering, which is run by the local British Legion, which attracts a crowd of around 1,000. Yeah. Do you think people are going to go rammy, stabby? But the force said it was unable to provide this support due to national guidance, stating it is responsibility of organisers, not police, to manage traffic. Okay. Following this decision, World Council said it would require the British Legion to take out public liability insurance for the event, citing, yeah, I told you, citing car ramming at Liverpool FC's Premier match. In response, the local British Legion branch, which has only 4 active members, said it had no choice but to call off the parade. Wendy Mead, the branch secretary, told supporters that the decision was out of her hands. So it's not the British Legion, guys. This decision has come down from the police, basically. Yeah. I bet they still have like other festivals. If the police were in attendance, hang on. If the police were still in attendance, they have the powers to do a rolling roadblock and, of course, can arrest anyone who is causing trouble. But local authorities do not have these powers, so we have to mitigate against anything happening. Yeah, so there you have it, guys. You know, that's. I think there's going to be more of these cancelled. You know, and you know, it's Christmas markets are being cancelled. All sorts of crazy stuff's happening. Right, listen, this guy. Oh, right, okay. Right, documenting decline. Okay, mate. Send me an inbox. Okay, you can come on the live stream and we'll talk. Okay, I'm not just going on your questions. Okay, you know, do a live stream on your own. Okay, I've been very clear to you, mate. Okay, the question is this: you're quoting ancient laws. You're quoting ancient, you know. Oh, but this word means this. Okay, mate, right? Next time you commit a crime, yeah, next time you commit a crime, I tell you what, right? Next time, let's just say this, all right? You have a domestic issue, a domestic violence, all right? quote Putin and say, well, actually, the international law is that if you're provoked, yeah, go and try that in a domestic violence case. Context is everything, mate, okay? Right, so my question to you is, there is still an ancient law that says it's legal to shoot a Welshman inside Chester after midnight with a crossbow, okay? That's the ancient law. Why don't you put your money where your mouth is, all right? Go to Chester and start blasting Welshmen after midnight with a crossbow. See what happens to you. Let's just see what happens to you. Real quick, let's just see what happens to you. And then you can go there to the legal system and say, actually, this word means this, and all you judges are retarded. Look at me. I know the true interpretation of this word. Yeah, they're gonna take you to the dock. You're gonna be in your prison grays, and that's fine. That's fine by me. If you are confident with what you're saying. You're spouting nonsense, mate, okay? I respect you. You did call me a retard. You're spouting nonsense, all right? Send me an inbox and I'll do a split screen with you. I will literally do a split screen with you, and we can talk about this. And I will put you to shame, and I will make your concept of reality very, very peculiar, because I think you need a reality check, mate. Okay, you can't shoot Welshmen. You can't shoot a Welshman with a crossbow in Chester after midnight. Yes, but there's an ancient law that's... Shut up. Right. Is Chester at war with Wales still? Because that is what why the law was introduced. I understand why the law was introduced, but the law still stands. Okay? So I'm asking you the question, mate. Okay? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's not documenting. Let me have a... Can I click on your... Right, I'm just going to leave document. I'm just going to leave documenting decline to argue about the meaning of words, and that's absolutely fine. Documenting decline. You, next time you commit a crime, you go and tell that to the judge. Documenting decline. You tell the judge that the judge's interpretation's wrong. Good luck. Good luck with that. And when the bailiffs come to drag you down, say, no, actually, I'm a... Blah, 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 blah. It's not going to work, guys. Not going to work. It's ridiculous. You're absurd. But look, guys, what I think this does highlight, is the need for that conversation, to be opened up. Now, I'm not saying that these laws and legislation, like Templar Matt was saying, for example, we already have the right to self-defense in the United Kingdom, and self-defense does permit you to do a preemptive strike. And I get that, that is true. What I'm saying is, without that interpretation, and maybe Templar Matt's right. Maybe that's the law that we can go from. In fact, I remember David Cameron holding a secret meeting when he wanted to do a drone strike on the two Welsh boys that I don't think were Welsh in Syria. He said that was a preemptive strike. He used self-defense law. He said, look, I'm the British Prime Minister. I'm using self-defense law and I'm striking that target, and I'm using self-defense law. Do you know why he got away with that? Because his legal firm wrote off on that. His legal, the Attorney General said, yep, signed a bit of paper. That's the definition. That's the interpretation. Go and do it. And what I'm saying is, we need to open a national conversation whereby these interpretations of these laws and this framework for, opposing a tyrannical government can be understood, because it's not understood, and good luck quoting some ancient law. David Rourke is saying he is trying to turn into his show, patch him. I'm just gonna look. Okay. Right, I don't want to block anyone, guys. I'm not going to block anyone. I'll let him continue, but it's not. It's certainly not the. It's my show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm right. I'm always right. Go check my videos. Stuff I was saying 6, 12 months ago. It's all happening now. And what I'm saying today, ladies and gentlemen, the grooming gangs in London. 50 girls found. This guy found 50 girls within 3 days that were being used, pimped out. Also, the Met Police are actively investigating 9,000 cases. Can you contextualize this? We've got this woman now, Suzanne Hall. I can remember, guys. I was thinking, wow. Do you know what? I've never seen. I mean, my interpretation of watching him, of Sadiq Khan in that exchange, was he came across very arrogant. He did. He came across very arrogant. Now, that's my interpretation, guys. He came across as very arrogant. And, with that arrogance, you're like, okay, what are you actually hiding, mate? So let me be clear. Sadiq Khan did not deny grooming gangs. Sadiq Khan skirted around the question and didn't answer the question. He wanted clarification on what a grooming gang actually was. And by doing that, by keep asking for that clarification, he didn't actually answer the question. Now, it turns out this is all over the mainstream. I don't think I can't believe it. That was you declining whatever is decline. I'm just gonna call it decline. Decline got me banned off. Banned off TikTok. So I'm gonna play another short video for you guys now. This is what's her name? Maggie. Is it Maggie Oliver? I think it is Maggie Oliver. Yeah. Maggie Oliver talking. She's a whistleblower now, and she was talking about the gangs in she was involved in the rush. I'll just play it, guys.
But the Metropolitan Police now are saying they're going to reinvestigate 9,000 child sex abuse cases as part of a grooming gangs probe, despite Sadiq Khan basically stonewalling questions on the issue. What do you make of this? Do you welcome this?
I think it's a ridiculous statement. 9,000 cases. Think about it. Where are they going to get the officers to investigate 9,000 cases? I've been involved in Operation Augusta since 2005. And in 2019 actually, GMP were forced to reopen that case into, they've recalled it Operation Green Jacket. It's into grooming gangs operating in and around Manchester. Okay. Over 3 dozen children. It turned out there was over 70. We're 6 years in, and there were 70 cases, not 9,000, and we still haven't seen any charges. So if it wasn't such a serious subject, it would be laughable, because there is not a cat in hell's chance that they can reinvestigate 9,000 cases. The worrying thing for me, Julia, is that now, after the
Did you know what she said there, guys? So she's again, this is Maggie Oliver, and she was one of the whistleblowers from the Rochdale grooming gang scandal. And what she's saying is, when she's been on from that short exchange, I will continue it in a minute, guys. She was saying that they had to reopen the investigation, and they had 79 cases that they had to reopen, and it was virtually impossible to reinvestigate 79 cases because those cases have been dropped, they've been closed. Everybody, the people you've got. Okay, so what we're doing, what she's saying is, it's going to be impossible. Not even it's going to be an absolute joke to try and reopen and reinvestigate 9,000 cases.
Press expose and the work that they've done, we finally have the Met acknowledging that they have a problem with grooming gangs.
How did they not know that before?
They did know it. I mean, the Express have only been able to look at the cases that are in the public arena, not all the ones that are hidden. So we are gradually seeing the house of cards fall down. But, we shouldn't have to be fighting tooth and nail to get the truth. Public police are public servants. They are here to protect the public.
And if you're not investigating girls being gang raped by anyone, you're not right.
So 82 TJ here is, he's putting up this, and I think this is true. I think these tentacles are going to run a lot deeper than people imagine. And like I said, when I first got on the stream, guys, I said the depth of this. I think if it ever gets fully uncovered, I think it's gonna like it's going to it's going to reorder the fabric of it, you know, it should, it should reorder. I mean, I'd say it will reorder it will reorder the fabric of humanity. It will reorder the fabric of humanity. You know, it really will, guys. You know, when people, I believe, like, if we can't, like, as a civilization, if we can't stop certain people taking certain small people and doing bad things to them, why don't we just, like, what even are we? Like, what even are we if we can't protect our children? And it does to me appear, and it does appear to a lot of other people, that these things are being it does appear to me that these things have been slowed down, guys, and people are turning a blind eye to them. It's all over the country, bud. 9,000 in London alone. Yeah. Look, guys, I am talking about, I did want to focus this live stream on what's happening in London. Well, do you know what, guys? I think 9,000 is, let me have a look at the population of, let's do some Raven maths. Let's do some Raven maths. $9.9 million. Yeah, tip of the iceberg, guys. Tip of the iceberg. Right, let's do population of. Okay, so guys, look. Right, I'm going to do Raven maths here for you guys. So, population of Rotherham is 271,000. Right. So how do we do? Right, guys, what's the maths? So from Rotherham, the population is 271,000, and the official number of grooming gang survivors is 1,400. So how do you work that as a percentage and then put that into? Oh, do you know what? I'm going to do. No, I'm not going to do that, guys. I'm going to do a different Raven mask because it's a lot easier. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, 8, 16, 24, 30. What's the next one? 24, 24, 30. 24, 30, 32. 40, Jesus Christ, 40, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's a lot more, guys. Yeah. So right, guys, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the population here of Rotherham, because these are the numbers we've got, and I'm just doing per capita. So the population of Rotherham is oh, wow, it's almost doubled in the last 10 years. Jesus, it's more than, yeah, it's almost doubled in the last. It's more than doubled in the last 10 years. Wow. So, do you know what, guys? I don't even know where to go with this, because, like, in 2011, no, I can't do that, can I? It's got to be different. So, yeah, this is a lot. This is easier. This is easier to do. So, okay, right. I'm going to, new Raven maths, guys. New Raven maths, okay? So the grooming gang scandal broke in, did it break in 2000 and, what year did it break in, guys? Was it 2012? Guys, bear with me. I'm doing some Raven maths here. I'm going to give you guys the numbers. Right, okay, so it broke in 2013, all right? Right, no, 2012. 2012 it broke, okay? So it broke in 2012, okay? Doesn't really matter for the maths. Okay, right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you my Raven maths now, okay? So let's just say, I'm reading from Wikipedia here. Rotherham had a population of 109,000 in the 2011 census. So let's just go with that number, okay? To 109,000. Now, they're the official numbers. 1,400 girls, that was the number, that was the official number, 1,400 girls had been groomed. So I'm going to say that that's like I'm going to go with like Raven estimates and say that's 1.3%. Jesus. So what's 1.3% of 9 million? They're your numbers, guys. That's your numbers. They're your numbers. 1.3% of 9 million. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's in the hundreds of thousands, right? Wow. So there we have it, guys. 1.3% of 9 million. If somebody wants to work that out for me, I don't know. But that's my Raven maths, guys. They're my numbers. And I know you guys love Raven maths, don't you? Everybody loves a good Raven maths session. Endeavour to preserve saying, that's what happens when your adults behave like children in school using slander as a tool. That must be a question from someone else. Sandra Green is saying there will be a continued investigation by independent groups. Yeah, April, with my basic Raven maths there. You know, with my basic Raven maths there, it's like it's over 100,000. My Raven maths, the number of actual exploitation cases in London, it's over 100,000, guys. You know, and I did that by, look, guys, tell me if my maths was wrong. You know, I'm welcome if you guys want to tell me my maths was wrong. The numbers I worked with were Rotherham, the census in Rotherham, 2011 was you'd have to rewind, was 109,000. If you consider that 109,000, from 109,000, there were, these are official numbers, guys, 1,400 girls, you know, the actual number, I believe it's a lot higher, but we'll go with that. They're the official numbers. I estimated quickly that that's about 1.3% of the population. And again, you know, these numbers may be off, guys, okay? So then we did, the population of London is like, is 9 million and some, over 9 million. So I said 1.3% of 9 million, and it's like over 100,000. What would you say, like 100, like, I don't know. What, 100 and... It's over 100,000, guys. I don't know. Somebody get a calculator and work it out, but it's over 100,000. So like April Lee's saying there, yeah, I believe it's the tip of iceberg as well. Dave O'Rourke is saying West Drayton, London reports coming in another mass stabbing last night, which has left at least one person, I can say that because I'm not on TikTok anymore, and several others injured. Locals are claiming that the suspect was an Afghan migrant. And Kenzos is, oh, right. Kenzos, have you got a calculator? Is that the answer? I was close, wasn't I, guys, with my Raven maths? I was close with my Raven maths. So Kenzos, is that the actual number, Kenzos? That we are saying that's in London, guys? Is that the number that we're saying? Look, ladies and gentlemen, when I do these things, like I gave you guys my calculations there. Whether you guys think that's right or wrong, I don't know. That was a rough estimate. I do Raven maths, guys. I'm not always, you know, I do it really quick. You know, I said there was over 100,000. I think Kenzos is giving me the actual answer, which is 117,000. Thereabouts, you know, thereabouts. Are we going to, do you think we're going to be able to investigate 117,000 cases? Absolutely not. So what does that mean? It means it's okay to do it it means these people are going to get away with it, if that is the actual number and if my maths is right. Templemat is saying all this child abuse will go all the way into royalty, MPs, and into some MPs globally. When you have the power that they've got, so here's the thing, Matt. All right, here's the thing, Matt. Okay, you want to go down that rabbit hole? That is a dark place. I do this real quick, and you guys have been following me. I do these things real quick in my head. Yes, these things are happening. Why are they happening? Why are they happening? What is it? There's something there. And if you want to keep going down that rabbit hole, Matt, you will inevitably come to you come to a dark place. You come to a real dark place. And I'm talking about trans-dimensional entities. I'm talking about evil energy. I'm talking about the worst stuff in the Bible. That's where you come. And this is this is the tip of the iceberg. X82 is saying, I love the Ravens maths and even the Ravens side quest. Guys, I do Raven maths all the time. I do Raven maths. Like, what's the point? Like, you know, you can spend hours and hours working out the real calculations, or you can just get an estimate real quick and go with it and try and work it out on the fly. Right, listen, guys, I am going to have to close this down now. I do have to leave the house. At what time did I say? I have to be out of the house at at half past. I'm going to be on later on today. Will you guys be on later on today, guys, and show your support? Because I'm banned now off TikTok. Because of decline, I'm banned off TikTok because I got done for hate speech because I was talking to him. So I'm banned. I can go live again on TikTok on the 31st of October, guys. So there we have it. You know, are you guys going to show your support later? Let's try and get this, guys, and let's try and start a conversation. Let's try and start a national conversation because it really needs to be had. The national conversation is this, okay? The national conversation is simple. What legal framework do we have to oppose a tyrannical government? And if you ask the government, if you ask anyone, they'll say none. Realistically, yes, okay, we can quote old laws and, you know, oh, but we have this law. You know, we don't. We don't have that law. We have nothing. Yes, but you can shoot a Welshman. No, you can't. You get done for murder. And rightly so, because it is. We start having a conversation, guys, you know, about what, because it is coming, guys. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close this off now. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning. I know I was on a little bit early. I do have to leave the house in like, what, 16 minutes. So anyway, guys, I will be back on later on today. I'll try and do a midday update on what's happening like on global events because there's lots of stuff happening. We've got aircraft down in the South China Sea. We've got Donald Trump saying he's got submarines off the coast of Russia. We've got the situation in Ukraine escalating. We've now got more rhetoric towards the Falkland Islands in the South Atlantic. All sorts of crazy stuff's happening, guys. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, what a time to be alive. Thank you for hanging out with me, guys. If you've not done so already, please like, comment, subscribe, share my stuff. But I'll only be double streaming later on, guys. I'll only be on YouTube and X. I'll see you guys.